Alright, 2021, let's see what kind of movies you have this year. Hey everyone, this is Raya Blog Animation Bliss, and welcome to another animated top series. So today's top video I'll be doing today is my top 10 most anticipated animated movies of 2021. And before I get into this, here are a few words from the channel. Alright Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So, 2020 was a crazy year. There was just so many terrible things going on in 2020 that I'm actually kind of glad that it's over. So, I wanted to start off this year on a bright note by introducing some animated films that I'm looking forward to in 2021. But before we get into this, here are a few disclaimers. One, this list is based off of my personal opinions, so there might be some films on this list that you guys might not agree with. And two, there were some films on this list that I actually had on my 2020 list, but because a lot of those movies ended up being delayed, they're going to end up on this list instead. So be on the lookout for some films that were supposed to be released in 2020, but ended up being delayed as a result. So let's begin with this list. So Rumble is about a group of monsters that enter a wrestling match, and it features a young girl who wants to enter her monster to the wrestling match. I actually saw the trailer for this movie when I went to watch the Sonic the Hedgehog movie last year, and I thought that the premise sounds interesting. The fact that we actually have a movie where monsters wrestle each other sounds really interesting because I've never seen something like that done in any animated film before. So I'm really excited to see where this film is going and see which monsters are wrestling each other and just see how the animation depicts the monsters wrestling each other. So Bob's Burgers, the movie, was supposed to be released in 2020, but again, because of the pandemic that happened in 2020, this movie was delayed and it will be released this year, at least according to the date. But I am looking forward to this movie because I really enjoy watching Bob's Burgers and I want to see a movie about Bob's Burgers. We don't know what the plot of the movie is yet, but I am interested to see where they're going to take these characters in this movie. Is this movie going to be an extension of the TV series, or is it going to be something that's going to be very different from the TV series, just like how the Rugrats movie was something very different for the Rugrats franchise? So I am excited to see the characters from Bob's Burgers come into the big screen and see what kind of adventures they get into the movie. So after seeing the trailer to the Tom and Jerry movie last year, I was actually excited about this movie. Like at first I was kind of skeptical about this movie because it's going to be a live action adaptation of the main characters. But then when I saw the main characters themselves in the live action format, I was actually really excited about this movie because Tom and Jerry's designs is actually faithful to their original cartoon designs. So I'm really happy about that. And this movie is supposed to be an origin story of sorts to how Tom and Jerry met each other. So I am interested in seeing how Tom and Jerry met each other in this universe, and hopefully the movie would do the two characters justice. So Space Jam: A New Legacy is the long-awaited sequel to Space Jam, and I'm really excited for this movie because I loved watching Space Jam when I was little, and it's still a movie I like to watch every now and then. But the fact that we actually get a sequel to Space Jam after all these years is really exciting to me. And it's going to star LeBron James, so it does make me wonder just what kind of plotline this is going to be. And it's just great seeing all these Looney Tunes characters return to the big screen again after almost several decades of not being able to come back to the big screen. So I'm just happy to see the Looney Tunes characters come back to the big screen again. And I can't wait to see what kind of adventures the Looney Tunes characters and LeBron James get into in the new Space Jam sequel. So Wish Dragon was another movie that was supposed to be released in 2020, but it got delayed. But I'm still interested in watching this movie because it takes place in another culture, and I'm really excited to see how this film is able to portray that culture in this film and see how the characters are being portrayed, as well as the concept of the Wish Dragon itself. So I'm really excited to see this movie, and I hope this movie is pretty good. So Batman Soul of the Dragon is one of the most recent Batman animated films being released, and even though I haven't really cared much for DC's recent animated films as of late, I am interested in seeing this movie because I'm a huge Batman fan, so of course I'm going to watch anything that deals with Batman, and I'm interested in seeing how it's going to deal with Batman trying to find his old master. So I like to see where this movie's going to go, and I hope this movie is better than most of DC's animated films that's been released so far. So Encanto is another film that takes place in another culture, in this case Colombia, and it's about a family of people who have magical powers, but unfortunately their youngest child, a young girl, doesn't have any powers. So this movie is really interesting to me because one, it takes place in Colombia and I like to know more about the culture of Colombia, and two, it deals with magical powers. And I always love watching movies that have magical elements to it, so I'm really excited to see this movie Encanto, and I hope that this movie is really good. So of course Pinocchio is going to end up on my list because I love Pinocchio. I always loved the story concept of the original fairy tale, and I love how the original fairy tale has some darker elements incorporated into it. And the fact that this movie is going to be a darker retelling of Pinocchio has got me really excited because I love watching darker retellings of fairy tales on the big screen, and I like to see what kind of take they're going to have on Pinocchio in this movie and just how dark this movie is going to get. Because you saw that the original 1940s Disney version was pretty dark itself compared to the other Disney films at the time. So I am interested in seeing what this movie is going to be like and just how dark this movie is going to get in regards to the Pinocchio fairy tale. So Luca is another Disney film that's also done by Pixar, and it's about a boy and a sea monster becoming friends with each other, and it takes place in the Italian Riviera. And I'm really interested in this movie because once again it's a movie that takes place in another culture, in this case the Italian Riviera. So I'm really interested in seeing how this movie is going to tackle the culture of the Italian Riviera, and I like to see this friendship develop between the boy and the sea monster. And that's what really excites me a lot about this movie, is that it's going to be about a friendship between a boy and a sea monster. So I like to see how the friendship develops in this film, and I can't wait to watch this film. Now, while I haven't seen the trailer for Raya and the Last Dragon yet, this was one of my most anticipated movies of 2020, but unfortunately got delayed, so now it's been delayed to this year in 2021. And this is still a movie I'm really interested in checking out because it deals with a young girl trying to find a dragon, and I usually love watching movies that deal with dragons, so the fact that we actually have a Disney movie that deals with a young girl trying to seek out a dragon is really interesting to me, and I can't wait to see this movie, and that's why this movie is like my most anticipated movie for 2021, and I hope it's really good. So those are my top 10 most anticipated animated movies for 2021, and tell me in the comments down below, what are some of your most anticipated animated films for 2021? Please feel free to comment down below. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit's Blog Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, like this video? Then please feel free to hit that like button. And also, hit that subscribe button for more animation content from this channel. And now, roll the credits please.